So Bonnie Lautenberg, it is so great to have you here at the museum. And could you please tell me what inspired you to create this series, Artistica?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me at the museum. I'm so honored to be here and to have this show. I've been a photographer for many years, and I just started thinking about artists, how we are influenced by things around us. But when I started this 5 years ago, I was just thinking how one art form might be influenced by something else, and I decided to use two art forms, a film and a piece of art, and I decided to do them on the same year. So I was playing around with it just to feel it out with myself to see how it looked, and actually the more I did it, the better it was. I started in 1928, and I've gone up so far till 2020, and it's a history of art, it's a history of film. So I love film and I love art, and I'm thrilled to have included so many of these filmmakers and the films and the artists.
So, but tell me a bit about, well, everyone asks what comes first, and I'm not sure it even matters whether it's the film still.
I have about 85 pieces, maybe close to 90 pieces that I've done, and there's no rule. Sometimes it's a piece of art that I love this piece of art and I want to use it, or trying to get as many artists as I could in this body of work. And sometimes it's a movie. I have to use a movie.
Yeah.
You know, I want to use this movie. And then to find, for instance, this American Beauty piece, I wanted to use this piece, and I had the hardest time pairing this piece. Right? It was tough. I don't know why, but it was. And it took weeks until one day I saw this Terrell piece, and it wasn't red. It was changing colors, as they do. And when I did this on the computer, and when it turned red, we photographed it on the computer. And I just think it's a beautiful pairing and very exciting. And
Right.
you know,
Well, and two great works of art.
That's
a great
right.
movie,
That's right.
and this Terrell that I know is a tunnel in Houston. At the Houston Museum of Fine Arts. So yeah, no, they're magical the way you put these together. And then these years, I mean, it sort of, in many ways, is a surprise. I mean, I love seeing the 1963 pairing of Paul Newman and HUD and the Elvis Presley by
You're surprised that it was the same year, right?
Surprised the same year.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what so many people say.
And what will be curious, I think, is the generation much younger than us that maybe did not live with these movies.
That's right. It is interesting, though, the reaction of people. You'll see here in the museum when people are looking at this body of work, you know, they'll stand there and we're cheating because we gave them the name of the film and the piece of art, which is the right thing to do in an exhibition. But sometimes when they don't know, they look, you know, they look and they say, what is that, you know? And they guess. I've had people go around and guess who, they were film buffs. They knew every movie, you know, they knew the paintings or what, you know, it's very interesting. It captivates people and they're engrossed in the curiosity.
But even those of us who know the movies, like Psycho,
right.
I mean, I would not have thought to put, you know,
the
Climb, which is absolutely brilliant. One of my favorites in the show.
I love that that image of Janet Leigh was always in my head from that movie, and I said I have to use it. You know, so then finding the right piece of art, I just thought that was beautiful together. Yeah,
no, that's I think the magic that you've brought here. And then, yeah, I just want to underscore that it's not serendipitous. It really is a very studied, examined.
It's work. You know, really. I mean, that's the work of finding the right pairing.
Yeah.
You know, and the excitement of finding a great pairing.
Yeah. So altogether, I think it's a fabulous exhibition, and we're so glad to have it here. And yeah, we'll welcome new audiences to your work, and I think we'll have a very exciting next few months.
Thank you, Irvin. Again, thank you for having me here, and I'm really honored to be in your museum.
It's our pleasure.
Patricia, I am so excited to meet you. I have heard so much about you, and I loved your husband. And you can imagine that when I started doing this project, one of the first pieces I did was use the Singing in the Rain, that I used this, and because I loved your husband, and I paired these pieces with art that were done in the same year. So in the whole exhibition, each film was paired with a painting done the same year. So they're both 1952. And that's Kusama, and I just felt that that piece called The Sea looked like the brick, you know, and
it's a fantastic,
right?
Yeah, I love
Pairing,
the connection.
you know?
Yeah, I love the idea.
So, and I just I've always loved your husband and all these movies, you know.
Well, this was an interesting thing because this is on the stage, and so it was all draped in black tarpaulin, and then they had rigging that was hung for the rain, and he's actually very, very sick when he shot this. He had a temperature of about 103, which you never know, and the fact that he's directing, choreographing, and starring in it.
I was so excited to pair these two.
That's amazing. He always said that the hardest thing was to create something that's both current, contemporary, and timeless.
Oh, that is.
I think now we have current down, but we don't know timeless. So, I mean, this is 70 years old.
Right,
now.
and it's fresh as
Exactly.
like yesterday.
So is that painting.
Right.
I mean, look at that painting.
I know. They're beautiful.
It's just so this is a privilege. I would love this. I mean, it's just gorgeous.
Well, this piece really means a lot more to me now that I know so much more about what you told me just now about him being ill and
Gene would love.